Well, that wasn't as epic as I would have hoped. I just got home, so first beer of the night. Wanted to sit down and bullshit with you guys for a little bit. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope you're enjoying almost the end of your work week. Hump day is over. Now we are on the descent towards the weekend. What do you guys got planned? To be honest, I got a couple things planned. I do have to go back to the shop this weekend. I'm going to be cleaning up my service cart. I'm getting rid of it. That's right. I'm getting rid of it. I'm done with this cart. I've had nothing but problems with it. I'm over it. So this weekend, I have to find the keys for it, and I'm going to be cleaning it up using this special toolbox cleaner that I got from the Toolheads crate box, and I'll put a link down below to Kyle, aka Rust Belt Mechanic, and Captain Ron and JRC54, who are all putting it on. But this cleaner worked really well on Shane's toolbox when we first tried it. I did a video a while back on it. I'm going to see how it works on matte paint finish versus a gloss finish. So I'm going to be cleaning it up and getting it prepped. I got some covers for the top to make it look as new as I possibly can. And in order to stay within my original agreement or MATCO contract, because I still have a tool credit account with them, a credit account, you cannot sell it until that account is completely paid in full. So what my plan is to trade it back into MATCO, which you can do as long as you have enough credit available to do a rollover. It's called a credit rollover. You can roll over into the next box. Now I'm actually not losing out. I mean, I'm actually getting a lot more for this cart, trading it back into MATCO, than I would if I was to sell it through private party. Private party, I mean, I might be looking at maybe $500 to $600, but it's really hard to compete. It's really hard to compete with Harbor Freight pricing as far as service carts are concerned. But if I get it all cleaned up, get the stickers stripped off, get all the grease cleaned up, put the new pads on the top, I'm looking at getting $1,000 in trade-in value to go towards I think it's $2,400 service cart. I'm not going to share the color, the features, or any of that stuff. All I can say is the locking system is way different. It's a lift lid, not a slide out, so that's going to be way different. But it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be I need to get rid of this damn cart. I'm so over it. But at any rate, I think it has the same, if not maybe an extra drawer than I currently have. And with that credit plus, you know, some down payment plus what it is that I currently owe, I'm going to be at the same exact payment that I'm already at. So it's really not affecting me too much. So I'm very excited about it. So that's what I got planned for this weekend, is I'm going to be cleaning up that service cart, taking everything out, shoving it into my Harbor Freight 56-inch box, and then putting whatever doesn't fit in there on the top until he shows up to the shop and I can trade it in. But today's discussion topic is going to be, what did I learn more, or who did I learn more from? Lynn Community College, aka Lbcc, or Knox University, aka the real world. I learned more in 2 years in the real world of automotive mechanics, the aka Knox University, from a friend of mine who I met at the community college named Jamie, and I'll leave his last name out for obvious reasons, and his brother. They had it going on, man. They had a mobile mechanic business. Me and Jamie were doing things, it seemed like every single night, man. We were on cars, we were taking out water pumps, timing belts, we were pulling heads, we were building small block Chevy 350s, getting them ready for the dirt track. I remember this one night, and I did post a video a long time ago. It was called Throwback Thursday, and I'll try to throw a card up here. We literally must have pulled this engine out like 6 times in one night because we were messing with something new, and I think it had to do with camshaft and degree timing on the certain gear, because we had timing gears at that point. We were trying to get a little bit more oomph out of it, so we were trying to set a certain degree. We had an oil sump, we had an HI distributor. We were doing a lot of different things that was kind of like not necessarily new to them, but the process was different than what we'd ever tried in the past. And so we were there, man. We were at it till probably about 3 in the morning. Race day the next day at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So it was a long night, and we ended up kicking ass, man. We had I would say the top 2 cars on the track, and there were a lot of cars on the track, but for B class, we had like the top 2 cars. The only thing that affected anything would have been the weather conditions and how tacky the dirt track was. Other than that, we built phenomenal engines, and I learned a lot of stuff from them. How to like bevel the oil galleys, how to smooth out some of the oil passages with the casting that kind of overlap to get better lubrication, to porting the intake, to porting heads, to porting the exhaust. I mean, we did all types of shit in the garage, and we never took it to a machine shop unless we needed to have the cylinder bored and the camshaft line board and the crankshaft done. If it involved something that we could do as far as porting or polishing or just resealing, we did all that stuff in the garage, and I learned so much about muscle cars in that time frame. Now, a lot of it's kind of faded over time because it's kind of like math, you know. You don't use it, you'll lose it. So I didn't lose the ability of being able to feel things out. I always maintained that ability, especially being a heavy line mechanic. But I did forget a lot of like the torque specs that I used to have memorized by heart, by brain, whatever. I don't have them memorized anymore. I have more Chrysler product torque specs memorized nowadays than anything else, really, to be honest. But there was a lot that went into it. We did it so much. I went from looking at a book to looking at sheets of paper to just memorizing it, to where it was just night and day. And then if it wasn't something that required torque, like cylinder head bolts and stuff like that, we did it by feel. And you got really good at it really quick. And we were our own NASCAR pit crew. So it was amazing, man. The stuff that I learned from them in a short period of time. I didn't do a lot of electrical with them. I know that they dabbled with electrical and they would troubleshoot on their own. I had a busy lifestyle at that point too. I had a wife, I had a kid, I had school, and then I was doing a mobile mechanic business with Jamie on the side. So we were always busy turning wrenches, but the real world taught me so much more. It taught me that stuff can break, stuff's rusty. It taught me to start thinking ahead, not just planning on just the job and getting the basic kit and that's all you need, because that's not all you need. Sometimes when you're getting ready to do exhaust manifold gaskets and it's a Chrysler product, you already kind of knew going into it, well, the manifold hardware is probably broken or sheared off in the head, so that means we need to extract it, or at the very least get some new hardware, and we can just pull it out with some vice grips or something like that. Other times, you learned other small little tricks like tapping on the starter to get it to turn over, tapping on the end of a fuel tank to get it to turn over. So there was all these little tiny backyard tricks that I learned along the way, as well as real world repair, versus at the community college where it was more structural based, more focused on the material given, and you did a lot of testing and things like that. But I would say it was at least 40% hands-on, 60% PowerPoint, 60% book work. And that was where I kind of struggled the most, but my grades weren't bad, especially when it came to automotive. I think I carried a 3.68 for the most part as far as a GPA. And then when I tried to take some business and accounting stuff, it kind of dropped down to about a 3.29 or something like that. And that was as a result of an accounting class that went way wrong. I thought I was following along really well, and then I started to slide, and then I ended up going through divorce and all kinds of other stuff. So that just tied into the mix of trying to stay focused. I moved into the trailer park, and I was having a real rough time with everything. But I finished out my term, I got my 2-year certificate, and then I moved on. So, life happens. You can't predict the future, but yeah, overall, I feel like I learned more in that 2-year time frame from doing real world repairs than I did at the community college that I went to. So, just food for thought. I throw that up there. I thought I would throw that up there for those of you guys that are thinking about going to community college. Is it necessary? Should you do it? Yeah, absolutely. I think you should, because the only way I actually would have met him is if I would have gone. And when I went to the school and I met him, I learned the best of both worlds. I learned some book stuff, and I learned the real world. And together, I basically got a 4-year education in 2, which was awesome. So I would recommend that anybody that's just starting off in automotive, go to school. Maybe you bump into somebody like I did, and you get a chance to learn both sides of the realm as far as mechanic stuff goes, both the books and off the books, real world experience stuff. Because that's what it's about. Only way you're going to learn is to get involved. Get your hands dirty, get in there, get after it, day in and day out. Night in, night out. I mean, you'll spend a lot of long hours, and then you'll get to a point where you can pretty much just cruise on your 8 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's pretty much all that I got for this video. Thanks as always for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Share if you want to share. And then we'll see you guys sometime over the weekend. And then we'll do the unveiling on Monday. That's all I got for this video. Thanks as always for watching. Cheers and deuces.